740.
Chris, the 916 says, as we have a conversation about Mike Brown and the extension, also other coaches are watching.
Oh, yeah.
On the SAC chat, Amid Rock says, if you think the draft class is lacking talent, the head coach pool is probably worse.
Ooh,
and that is where I was going to go with this as far as how this changes things for Coach Mike Brown. And we don't know. Look, the article just came out, and then the reposting, reworking of the article, that was yesterday as well, I think. But I will say that if, and maybe I'm blowing it out of proportion, but if the Kings do wait on this, the more they wait on this and the more garbage and smoke comes out, all you're doing is being forced to pay Mike Brown more. Because I think even with this leaking, I mean, the NBA Twitter is a huge place, but it's also a tight-knit place. And the amount of teams, like you said, from the Cavs to the Warriors, and then the Warriors, that was just more crazy fans, but the list goes on and on. Yeah. Mike Brown could say, look, y'all want to play around?
Yeah.
You play around if you want.
And find out.
And you could find out. You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. Yep. If it gets to the point now, and I can't even remember which Niner this happened with because there's been so many, but it gets to the point where if we're going to do this dance, what is the holdup, right? If you've been dating someone for over 5 years and you have to decide whether or not.
Hold on.
You want to be with
somebody for more than 5 years.
You want to be with somebody,
trouble, please,
or not? What are we waiting for? What are we doing?
Look, that's a complicated question.
Either move on or put a ring on it.
Stop,
dude. Can we opt out of that? No. I hear what
from a basketball standpoint.
I absolutely hear what you're saying. No, I mean 100%. Like, what's Mike Brown going to do that's gonna change things for you?
Do you have a because I saw somebody say yesterday?
Yeah.
If that were the case, and now this would be really shady, but Jordy would have been that contingency plan.
Sure.
And now he's gone.
He's gone. Yeah.
So, and you threw out a name yesterday.
Hey, man, he's sitting right there, and it's right in front of our face.
I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this.
I don't want to do it. Yeah.
Why would you pay someone unproven when you could just pay someone that's already proven?
Yeah, 100%. I don't know. I mean, I think you're completely right. Like, because, I mean, it's just basic negotiations, right? Like, the Kings are losing their leverage here, and Mike Brown is gaining a whole lot of leverage.
That's what I'm saying.
What we talked about yesterday, right? Public pressure. And public pressure can make people do some crazy things or some things that they weren't planning on doing before. And, I definitely think that, if there's enough public pressure from people who say, what are we doing here with this Mike Brown situation?
Yeah.
It's just going to make Mike Brown's negotiation a whole lot easier or a whole lot better for him, I guess. Because, Dave reports that it's 11 mil is what he's hearing around. But shoot, I mean, what's to stop Mike Brown from, if he wants to be, I won't say selfish, that's not the right word, but if he wants to look out for himself and have his best interest in mind, why not say, price just went up 12.
Yeah.
12. What are you guys going to do?
De'Aaron told me to get a bag.
What are you guys going to do?
De'Aaron told all of us to get a bag.
I'm just doing what our best player said, okay? So, what's going to stop? I don't know what will. And if you're the Kings, pay the man. Like, he has done, okay, with the exception of missing the playoffs this year, but record-wise, has done what he needed to do to satisfy the job requirement. And I don't know what else they would want to see from him in order to at least, because we're not saying giving him a lifetime contract.
Right.
That's another thing. We're just saying, okay, I'll sign up for 2 or 3 more years of this.
Right.
Absolutely. And then we can reevaluate. I'm not saying he's not going to be the Mark Jackson to an eventual Steve Kerr. I'm just saying, why do we have to do that now? Yeah. It seems like things are on a pretty good track, and maybe,
it's on a pretty good track.
Maybe the train goes off the rails at some point. But let's wait for the train to get off the rails, and let's try and maximize the most out of what Mike Brown's going to give us so that the next coach can step in and have an easier job too. Because, I mean, I tell Brendan and Frankie this all the time, more as a joke, but Mike Brown's going to be fired one day. It's the reality of being a coach. Every coach except for Spoelstra, except for, Greg Popovich, there's very few coaches who don't get fired, who that get to leave on their own terms. So I'm not saying, delusional that Mike Brown is going to be this coach forever, but I'm just saying, I think that there's a little bit more meat on this Mike Brown bone, and I think it would be really stupid to leave the dinner table right now.
It wouldn't make any sense to me, and I don't really understand.
Because to the texter's point too, what's out there? Who are we bringing in? Who's the Sean McVay of basketball right now? That's what I always say. Like, who are we bringing in? You know, I know James Borrego's hot right now with the Los Angeles search. Is it Kenny Atkinson? He's not, any younger than Mike Brown is.
Right.
He's not any more experienced than Mike Brown is. I don't know. Like, I don't think that there's any massive coach out there that makes a lot more sense than Mike Brown, who is young, has experience, and is a winner. Like, he's a winning coach.
We're sitting here, you're talking about sign up for 3 more years of this. Yeah, you'd sign up for 3 more years of this. I said the numbers last week, and I'm going to say it again. This is Per Statista, my favorite website. The value of the National Basketball Association franchise, the Sacramento Kings, increased markedly in 2023, reaching $3.3 billion US. This was an increase of around 64% from the previous year when the figure stood at $2.03 billion. A Billy.
Yeah.
Don't play with me. Don't play with my name.
Right.
That's what I'm telling them.
Yeah.
And now you got the streets talking, saying that I'm the issue. Really? You didn't have pyrotechnics before me.
Yeah.
No. You didn't have a lot of these things.
Not
didn't have the beam.
That's for sure. Definitely didn't have the beam.
Didn't have the beam.
Yeah.
So don't play with me, or I need 15. And don't play these games.
Exactly. Or find out.
I say 15. Okay, you go down to 13. Exactly. I still won.
Settle. That's right.
I still won. Now I feel like I'm back on Shark Tank.
Exactly. No, I mean, I think that Mike Brown's got all the leverage, man. I mean, he is he's the guy that's done the thing that everybody. There's been tons of coaches that have came in here and said they're going to change the situation. It's going to be different with me around, and every single coach had some different version of the same result that wasn't playoffs, that wasn't a winning record. Mike Brown walked in, changed the culture from day one. And, everybody's been behind it, too. It's not like there. I mean, I'm sure there's a couple. I don't know how Chimezie Metu felt about his role. I'm sure Sasha wasn't thrilled about his role this year. But the majority of players who play for him, and most importantly, the best ones, have his back 100%. I haven't heard De'Aaron Fox even throw slight shade towards Mike Brown. I haven't heard Malik Monk, and we know they go back and forth. We haven't heard Malik Monk once throw Mike Brown under the bus. I just don't see how. And then there's player development too. We've seen players get better under Mike Brown, which is not something that has been the case with other coaches. He has a great staff as well. That's a huge part of what Mike Brown brings, is the connections that he has. I just don't see how you can look at the situation and then just confidently say, no, we can do better than this.
Do you see any connection between Mike Brown, his extension, and Malik Monk, and the idea of keeping Malik Monk? Because like I said, I was listening to the High Flyer on with the Drive guys last week, and he talked about how he wasn't sure that Malik Monk would fit in with the Spurs and Malik Monk from a coaching standpoint. And yeah, there have been some situations with Mike Brown and Malik Monk that have made me uncomfortable. Sure. But that's their relationship. Yes. And I do think that they have a pretty darn good relationship. And if Malik Monk is that important to you, that's not to say that Malik Monk would necessarily stay if you keep Mike Brown, for sure, because money talks. We get all that. But if you're adding more instability by not extending Mike Brown, and I'm Malik Monk, and you're trying to sign me for 4 years, no. Yeah. Because I don't even know who you're going to bring in. I don't even know if I'm going to like this person, this coach. So I think even from that 100%. Respect, even if you don't know if Malik Monk's going to stay either way, but I think you have a better chance of him staying if Mike Brown is there. Yeah, that's part of the familiarity. Mm-hmm. If you blow that up, then I might as well go to a different team, because I don't know if I'm going to like that coach either.
100%. Yeah, you have to make this situation as attractive as possible for Malik, and part of that is knowing what is going to be there. Mm-hmm. And, whether or not him and Mike Brown's relationship is perfect or not, it's okay, at least I know what this situation is. Mm-hmm. The worst would be, okay, yeah, like you said, Mike's going to be there maybe another year, but then it could just be a whole different situation where I could hate the coach. I could love the coach even more. Who knows? But it's just the unknown. And if you're going to sign, to your point, if you're going to sign up for an unknown, I might as well go sign up for an unknown in Orlando where I'm not going to get taxed on anything and I'm going to make the same, if not more money and get more opportunity, all of it. So you have to try and make Sacramento as attractive as possible. And I guarantee one of the first, if not the first thing Malik Monk is going to ask is, well, probably what's my role, but tied into that is who's going to be dictating my role? Who is going to be the coach of the future? Is it going to be Mike, or is there plans to move on from him? Because I think either way, if you're a free agent, you need to know where that team is standing. So the best thing would definitely be avoiding that question in total and just saying, no, Mike is here. Mike is extended. He's going to be here.
Yeah. I mean, look, we already know about the transfer portal in college and how that affects players and how they just get out of Dodge whenever they can. From the 916, just reward the guy for doing a really good job. Not a great job. This is from the 916, but a really solid job. And he doesn't shop for the groceries. He just makes the meal, a really good meal. I will be back to eat more. That's what we got to keep saying. And I've been saying that. We got a listener in 916 because I've been talking about the refrigerator and getting the ingredients all season long. That's Monty.
Bottle Rock.
All right. That's around one with Sean Cunningham. But that is what it is. He just makes the meal. Don't talk about if you're talking about not utilizing the players, cool. Let's have that conversation. You think Sasha could have done more? Okay, we can have that conversation. But the idea that, why is he playing Harris? Because he has to. We did the breakdowns. Trey Lyles had a down year. These guys had down years. He lost Kevin Huerter after his down year. Then he lost Malik Monk, who was having a career year. This is what happens, all right? Pay the man and stop playing around. When we come back,